Anthropic will probably hate me because of what I'm about to do in this video with Claude Code. If you haven't heard, recently Anthropic reduced the usage limit on Claude Code. I'm not sure if this is true or not. There's articles about it, there's Reddit posts about it. I still haven't hit that usage limit. What I'm really curious about is how much value am I extracting out of Claude Code in terms of dollar amount. The technique that I'm about to deploy using an application I made called Claude Maestro is borderline illegal. Make sure to stick around until the end of this video, as I'll be revealing how much you can get out of Claude Code and the exact dollar amount. Just to give you some context, I am on the $200 a month max plan. We'll see how far I get before I actually reach the limit within the 5-hour window. Now the application that we'll be using to test out this limit is Claude Maestro. Claude Maestro, I built this, is basically an OpenAI codex clone for Claude Code. It streamlines the parallel agentic workflow so that all I have to do is input a prompt, it will create a plan and then execute that plan. And you can see that at the top right here, there is a cost meter. So we can see how much value we're extracting from Claude Code with each planning stage and each coding stage. Anyway, before I get into executing tasks in Claude Maestro, let's take a look at my Notion page where it contains all the remaining tasks that I need to tackle before actually releasing Claude Maestro. By the way, if you want to use Claude Maestro, there is a sign up link down below in the description. I will send out an email once I've completed this task list. It's almost there, guys. I'm sorry it's taking longer than expected. Quite a few of you signed up. Thank you for your patience. Here is my task list. I know I should be using something like Linear or Task Manager or whatever. Look, this was supposed to be like a weekend project, but it bloated out of control because it became a lot more useful than I thought. That's the story of it. Anyway, now that you see my task list, let's go ahead and fire this off all at the same time in parallel. This might sound a little weird. I'm gonna be using Claude Maestro to work on Claude Maestro. Okay, I'm gonna queue up the first task. Here is my first task. I am going to hit plan. And while it's doing that, let's go ahead and queue up the rest of the task on my task list. Now we're at $11.81. We're almost double our daily quota to make it break even. And I've only executed 7 tasks so far, just FYI. Okay, this one would be a good one to do. The Electron title bar needs to match the application background. Okay, let's just plan it. $37.53. In fact, I'm gonna make this even crazier. So you see number of instance here. I'm gonna make this 5. So it's gonna implement this plan in 5 separate work trees all at the same time. And if we go back here, you can see that 5 out of 5 running. This one already costs $7.25 for just the planning phase. We'll see how much more it will cost after I execute this plan 5 times in parallel. Okay, let's add more tasks while this is running. So there's another bug that I need to take care of. Basically, sometimes when I run multiple instances of a task, it modifies the actual root of the project, which I never wanted to modify the root of the actual project because it should all be done in the work tree. I'm not sure why it's doing that. All right, we are now at $79.61. Unfortunately, there were some tasks that failed, so I'm just gonna go ahead and restart this task. I'm not gonna do parallel task because it seems like I need to fix some issues there. It's giving me unexpected error here, so I will have to look at this at a later point after I finish filming this video because I really need the parallel task to work. That's the whole point of this application. We're almost at $100 here. Let's keep going and see how crazy we can push this. To speed this up, I'm just gonna queue up the same task over and over and over again. All right, we have now passed the $100 mark. We are now at $113.58 of Claude Code usage, and it's again only been like a bit over half an hour. If we're getting this much of value out of it in less than an hour, the $200 max plan is still definitely very worth it, and this is extremely lucrative for anyone who has this plan. Oh, okay. Claude Code process exit with code 1, failed, failed, failed. There it is. We did it, guys. We did it. Hell yeah. Okay. Claude Code limit reach will reset at 2 p.m. Amazing. Amazing. I finally reached the limit at $140.67. Let's just do the math here. 24 divided by 5 times 140. So that's $672 per day of Claude Code value that we can get, and times that by 30, which is a month. So we can get over $20,000 worth of Claude Code per month for $200. That's like 100x the value if you literally use Claude Code like this. So that's around 22 tasks that I've queued up here for agentic coding workflow. As you can see, with Claude Maestro, you can hit this $140 limit in maybe less than an hour if you go ham like what I just did. But in most likelihood scenarios, you probably won't hit the limit unless you're not on the $200 plan. In the $100 plan, you'll probably hit the limit sooner. Anyway, at this point, you may be wondering, like, what other features am I going to be adding to Claude Maestro? And yes, I have quite a few ideas. The first thing after I've polished this is I want to get this on my phone. I want to be able to code anywhere. Let me rephrase that. I want to be able to queue up any agentic coding tasks anywhere. After that, I want to add a review stage in Claude Maestro. You may notice that there's a plan and code stage, but then I want to add a review stage where it reviews all the code that it has written and basically do the tasks that I would do. I just want to have Claude Code be a lot more critical on what it has output and make changes if there's redundant code, if there's security risk, and things like that. This is kind of like I wouldn't say a nice to have, but more like a really cool prototyping idea I had is having V0 inside Claude Maestro, but using Claude Code instead. I think that would be really cool to allow really, really quick prototyping of components and then just copying that code right into your project. And especially with this parallel workflow, I could just be like, okay, I want a text input box. Make it beautiful, simple, and modern, and I want 10 of those, and I just have 10 Claude Code instances going all at the same time, and just each one coming up with its own idea of this text input that I've asked for. I think that would be something really interesting to implement here as well. Might not be as good as V0, but hey, like, I don't need to pay extra for it, so I'm all for that. The next thing I want to do is I want to be able to chat with my code base. If I'm away, again, thinking about some idea, and I want to be able to chat with my code base, I'm able to do it through Claude Maestro. I think that's a cool idea as well. And then eventually I want to gamify this whole thing and have like a leaderboard of who can get the most value out of their Claude Code session every month. I don't know if that's the greatest idea, but if people really do take this seriously, then it might make Anthropic rethink their Claude Code usage limit again. If you're still on the fence about whether Claude Code is worth it or not, you might want to check out this video next. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. I'll be creating a lot more Claude Code video in the future, and especially showing you my progress on Claude Maestro as well. Again, if you are interested in using Claude Maestro, there will be a sign up link down below in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.